I swear to God I could kill someone today. Minor power cut turned into my PC updating itself, I swear to Christ. Didn't even give me any options. Alright, we're back though. I do apologize for that weird break. Give it time. Alright, Auto's in Discord telling me to wait before I shoot myself. I'll listen to that for now. God, I hate it when Windows updates. Everything's a bit slow for a minute, so I do apologize again, in advance. I swear to God. Griff, why you gotta do this to me? What in your mind made you want to do this to me? You only just started, bro. I see, you're all in on it. Okay, okay. I have to practically kiss my fucking microphone. Well, not, I have a pop filter, but that's not the point. Pop filters are relatively ineffective at this volume. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted with a power cut, we are in the Dusk Moor today, the elves. And we gotta build some shit. I don't trust any of you, Lee. Don't take it personal. Okay. God damn it, Griff. Thing is, that actually wasn't that bad. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda like that one. Is there multiple people now? Yes, you are multiple people now. Trying to make Twitch chat work in the game. In that thing even. In the game. Wow, my brain isn't working today. Anyways, we're in the Illivo Empire. How do people want to start? What's the ideas here? And I'll see if this fixes chat. I think first of all we need to add some more rivers and stuff. We ain't really got much going on. Let's add some lakes. That's a bit weird. And some... It's not so even. See, it just looks weird though. You know, when he thinks that. What if I did like a big... Expand the range a little and have a large mountain in the center. Working title. What, have like a large mountain like here or here? Like, do you want it over on the side? Like in the divide? Or do you want it like along the range somewhere? In the divide, okay. It makes me SimCity. I know I can create anything I want. Ooh. So you want like a big fuck off mountain? That's a huge fuck off mountain. I mean, we could have a huge fuck off mountain. That is a huge fuck off mountain. Is that what you want? Also, I don't need to do that anymore, so I'm not going to. Okie dokie. I mean, let's remember that, by the way, that each of these little hexagons going on. Yeah, hexagons, right? Yeah, they are. Each of the ooh, I had to let you think that one through. Each of these hexagons are 1 day's travel in D&D terms. So that's about, it's approximately 8 miles, I think, is what D&D terms specific. Cool. 1 day's travel on foot. Which is, yeah, approximately 8-mile stretch. So let's keep that in mind when we're putting huge mountains and things. But yes, there can be a huge mountain in this divide that we will need to give a title. A working title. For now, we're just gonna call it Mount Huge. Remember, this is an elvish nation, so let's think about that too when we're thinking about titling. There you go. We'll come up with a name for that at some point. Oh god, that is gonna bug me. Okay. Let's just find something that's a little more... Hey. Ooh. Didn't quite connect. That was concerning. I feel like this is like a good number of little like pools and shit to have. We can have like one more over here somewhere. I mean, I believe ASMR is only redeemable once per stream. So you're gonna have to wait for the next one. Yeah, that could just be a natural spring. I don't need to add shit to it. Okay. We do also have this little island off to the side that I should make note of as part of the Dusk Moor. You know, for next stream, this is true. This is true. Okay, so we have the Dusk Moor here. This is the Dusk Moor, the kingdom of the Dusk Elves. Actually, I can pull up some information that might help with our understanding of these people. It's not going to be people, it's going to be other races. Okay. So this is what we've written so far on the actual elves, so the beings that live within this world. Right?
So, the elves are a tall and elegant people. Elves live much longer than other races of Colabria. Their long lives often give them a wise aura, and many look to them in times of need for their wealth of knowledge kept in years past. Crafted by the Dusk Father and Dawn Mother's hands, the most elves worship one of these two twin deities religiously with great conviction and hail from one of their lands. The Kingdom of Lune of the Dawn Vale is the heart of the Dawn Elven people and beacon of the Dawn Mother's pride. Meanwhile, the Olovoan Empire of the Dusk Moor is the shade of the Dusk Elves and the void of the Dusk Father's conviction. Make say ASMR again? You can't, bitch. The people often find themselves at odds with each other by their very nature, and so conflict often arises along their people's borders. That's the northern part of this map here. Just so we're aware in context, okay? It's the perfect depiction of duality. The elves are assigned to all races of Colabria. There are two sides to a coin. So, with the Dawn Elves, which is not important right now, we'll go to Dusk Elves because that's where we're starting. Dusk Elves have the blood of the Dusk Father within them, the god of the setting sun and patron of darkness. Necrotic energy shrouds you as you move through the dark and covers you like a blanket, offering you safety from the world beyond. But don't be fooled by the dark, it's not an evil place. To you, the dark represents security, it's a time for solace and rest. Where the many fear the dark, you find peace in it. The dusk brings about the end of the day, and in a symbolic way, Dusk Elves are aware that all things must end, and are not scared of that. Bringing peace to grieving souls and calm to storms of mania, Dusk Elves can be found across Colabria, sharing the beliefs of their patron, making great gravekeepers and counselors. So, with that in mind, that is this empire. This is the empire of the Dusk Elves. The Olovoan Empire, to be specific, which resides here in the Dusk Moor. Now, similar to what we've done before with the initial stream, once we created the world, so the second stream, where we created the Tepi Wigs, we very much could have another group split off somewhere here, that's fine. But in terms of the lore we had pre-written, this is so far what we have. So does anyone have any ideas? I'm, in the meantime, going to just be scattering cities about, because we need to do that, basically. I think that's a fair statement. We'll go with Elven capitals. I feel like capital would be somewhere nearish water. Possibly even have like the capitals opposite each other on the Solace Lake. Make even more tension. Like you can see the other side's capital from across the way. That'd be kind of brutal. And then we'll make some smaller cities. In places that make sense in fantasy lands. Again, here going purely on... In medieval times, they would use natural borders. That's what we have here, going through this massive river. But they would also place their cities either near water or resources. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Get that to work. And then we can have a few smaller towns and such. I'll add some foliage and things as well. Didn't. Trees next, I think. Too small. It's like all that size. Better. We also have the Great Divide beneath this, we should also say. Water supplies a water source, but is a cooling effect as well. Yes, and why 95% of Australia's population are on the coast. Yeah, good fact, but yeah. It makes the heat bearable and livable, survivable. Obviously a lot of Australia is horrifically dangerous. The deserts and the heat. Not somewhere you'd want to get lost in too easily. Don't mind me just adding like a whole frickin' forest. Like we want some more like dead trees down here somewhere. I'm gonna like mark out vaguely where this is gonna go. I know I've done a lot of changes because I'm putting everything down individually because I hate myself. I'll add some parsing in a minute as well. I do think we need to fundamentally think about here is who are the Dusk Elves? Obviously we know that they're of a religious inclination. They were literally created by a god. Arguably, you could say that all races were, whatever. But, I mean, these guys were literally handcrafted and given the blood of their god. So what are they like? How is their nation run? Is it run by religious people? Perhaps have a waterfall city for the elves off a plateau of layers towards the working title mountain. Nice. Spiritual path is part of the pilgrimage. Yes, I love that idea. We can definitely have some like pilgrimage-esque situations here. These are very religious peoples, as we've discussed before. 100%. I'm just gonna say this real quick. We do love a pilgrimage, though. The Tepewigs, of course, have their super dangerous pilgrimage to the trolls, where they believe that they're going to become one with the gods and actually are being killed. Because we got real depressing in that episode. Okay. But yeah, so this city you're saying here, is like on the mountain itself. Okay, so I'm gonna move this to curve the other way. Put it over the top. Actually, rotate it slightly. Over there. A sacrificial temple. We didn't need to make it sacrificial. Why we gotta make stuff evil? We take a nice thing and make it evil so easily. What's up with that? Oh boy, why did part of that disappear? Okay, now they just both disappeared. What? Where did they go? Oh my god, I have to scroll through so much. And you to the top. You. Oh, except no, you're like that. There it is. Bring you back. There we go. Jesus, complicated. Who doesn't want a wonder-esque temple to sacrifice the firstborn children? You realize, okay, again, the Dusk Elves are all about peace and tranquility, and we're making them about death again. His whole idea is to get away from tropes of dark being evil. I suppose death being evil. I guess that kind of tracks a little bit. But again, you all concern me. But how do you level out the equilibrium of life without an evil force? Feast on the blood of the firstborn children that they turn into a sausage with the blood of... Because there's more to, like, balance than just that. I need to not have to move my mouse. Nailed it. That path is kind of straight. It's about as straight as I am. Okay, Added some paths, some trees. Some kind of temple on a mountain. That's great. We're gonna change this to a temple icon. Black pudding is the outcome of the equilibrium. Why black pudding, of all things? Black pudding is so bad. It actually tastes so bad. Oh my god. Okay. I do like the idea of there being a temple in a mountain, though. On a waterfall. That's really fucking cool. Do I have any waterfall icons? Oh no, I mean in like all of... Hmm. Could use one of these, I guess. There's our representation. And we will need, obviously, water, but... some stuff here. So how do we get there? Is like a massive bridge, maybe? Or is the path actually more, like, rounded, actually? So you have to go through the mountains to get there. I feel like that's more pilgrimagey, you know? Black pudding is not goated milk. You are incorrect. Ooh, a perilous journey through the mountains, though, could make some great content. Okay, whatever this place is going to be called. Just going to scatter some texts around the place. Be the names of places when we actually get around to naming. Oh my god, why is it multiplying text? Being a man from the Black Country, black pudding is a food of the gods along with cob, Usher Night at the local tavern where we talk about woes of the week. Eek on and mourn Monday becometh. Griff, buddy, are you good? Are you okay? Do you need help? Blink 3 times if you need help. I can't see you, but blink 3 times if you need help. I mean, there is the Dusk Temple, which we have agreed all together collectively in the first episode that they would have some kind of grand temple. The worship of the Dusk Father. It could be that this is that area. Also, the shade being given by the mountain, the sun would be setting this way, right? So it would seem much darker much earlier from here. If we're thinking, you know, does the sun rise in the east and set in the west in this world? Oh god, that's a whole other question. One is living up to the quest and talketh old English in a true D&D fashion. I love that. And what does one think of our quandary? We'll put the Dusk Temple for now, but we can change that name when we have a better one. So we're saying rise in the east and sets in the west. Yeah. So we're doing the same as normal, yeah? Okay. So yeah, darkness comes here much sooner. Which actually would make sense. Given, you know, everything we know about the Dusk Elves. Hey, Ro. How you doing? Good evening to you too. Glad you're doing alright. We're talking elves today, right? We're talking Dusk Elves, to be specific. Information on whom can be found here. If anyone would like to go and have a read about elves. One needs a tavern for a quart of grog to wet one's whistle. Yeah, you really are delving into Old English here. No word of a lie, by the way. I should be opening an actual fantasy-themed living, working pub in about 5 years. That's a thing that I'm planning and have people investing in. It's a thing. That's fun. More information will come as and when we actually start putting the plan together. Semi-drow, kind of. They are and they aren't. They're not evil, inherently. Obviously you have evil and good in all races, but the drow are just kind of like evil. In this world, the Dusk Elves are just like kind of chill, and they just accept that shit, you know, ends eventually. And that it's nothing to be scared of, and the darkness is a blanket in which you can rest. It's a time for rest and a time for safety, comfort, and warmth. Is young saint an elf or a dwarf? I'm short, so I wish I were an elf, but I'm a dwarf. Yeah. To answer your question there, Griff. Anyone who's met me in real life will know that I am a midget. Yeah, we've been working on a lot of stuff. Sorry, this is gonna go very bright. Can't help that. We'll just ignore how many things I have to record and how much shit we have. Okay, actually, I can find it better on the website. A tall halfling. Okay, I'm not that short, okay? Jesus. This website, this page right here, this is a good depiction of the Dusk Elven philosophy, as it were. So this is from a character that we've created for the head of the Dusk Temple. We are still workshopping that name. But yes, Selsuna is actually High Priest in Tolkien Elvish. Because I am a nerd. Anyway, the Dusk Father is all about this concept. This is a quote from Selsuna, Elrobin Yanfinis. I often wonder what it's like to be scared of the dark. It's a feeling so unfathomable to me, so strange. Darkness wraps around me like a blanket, cozy and warm. It gives me space to hide and space to be alone. It gives me safety and security, not fear. The Dusk Father rises as his sister rests, bringing about the turn of night, and gives us this blanket to hide from the world. I am not afraid of the dark, I embrace it, and so should you. So, that's the idea of the Dusk Father. Also, I am not a short hobbit. I am a short hobbit. I'm not a short hobbit. I'm an averagely heighted hobbit, okay? I'm 5'5". Like, I'm not that tiny, okay? I'm just like, I'm more of a dwarf than an elf, is all I'm saying. Alright? It's all I'm saying. Right, while you guys are braining, I'm gonna add more trees because I feel like I should. Dwarf women need beards. Can you grow a beard? I can't grow a beard, this is true. You like the concept of these elves? Thank you, Ray. This was the concept we went for. So basically, Dawn Elves are the complete opposite. The Dawn Elves who live to the north here past the Solus Lake, they are kind of more about like the hope of morning and continuing and living. And just the idea that like everything in the light is just filled with more hope and love, I guess, is kind of like the idea for them. Basically, nothing I can fully understand myself, being a depressed person. I'm not gonna lie, I found it much easier writing a quote for the Dusk Elves, which is why I didn't write a quote for the Dawn Elves. Effect did. Couldn't do it. I was like, I need a happy quote. Help me. Effect came in and was like, hope, I've got this. And then even then was like, I don't relate to this at all. We're all depressed here. The fellowship of his group of friends at school, and Sam was his runner during the war. When he was injured or sick. Hold on. Story of the Lord of the Rings is his trip from growing up in Cornwall moving to the industrial lands of Birmingham. I did not know that, but that is interesting. Tolkien's an incredible writer, though. The worlds that he built, my god. I have nothing but respect for that man. I'm just adding trees. Anyone can interrupt me anytime with an idea, by the way. But, you know, it's just the vibe right now. I just want trees, because trees are nice. And forests are cute. And give space for lots of bestiary things that we can add. The Shire is Cornwall and Mount Doom is Birmingham, where he moved when his mother passed away. Jesus Christ, that's dark. Oh, I suppose, yeah, this is an industrial powerhouse Birmingham was then. Kind of still is, but not really as much anymore. Good old Brummies. Don't mind me again, just clicking trees. I do need some Elvish names for towns, though, if anyone wants to start thinking about those. This music got ominous real quick, huh? I have Sauron was one of the tallest towers in the city. And it stood watch over the town and its lands. Jesus. I mean, I know Birmingham is an ominous and dark place that I would never want to live. But this is making it sound so much worse. So them elves, are they tree huggers or have other attachment to nature as per custom with elves? Basically, we haven't written any of that yet. We do know that the druids and the druidic people don't get on with divinity because the divines literally scarred the world, which in of itself is a slumbering god, in an act to tame nature. And so they hate each other in that sense. Because the druids believe they know the truth about the gods, and that's that they're actually kind of horrific people. Well, not people, horrific entities. Where the rest of the world is like, but they're my god, you know? Like, they're cool, they're great. So I would guess that the general consensus would be that the elves would have no particular attachment to nature, although that doesn't necessarily mean they have a particular hatred of it either. Hello, Effect! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. Also, Griff, I will check out that movie. Send me a name of it in DMs. I'll have a look. I definitely need some names for cities though, because right now just having text written above all of these is concerning. Yeah, just to remind everyone though, for some new people who just joined in the chat, we're doing the Dusk Moor today. This is the Olivoan Empire, the Dusk Moor. The inhabitants of the Olivoan Empire in the Dusk Moor are the Dusk Elves, who were created by one of the twin gods, the god of the Dusk, Duskfather as he's known by his patrons, or patron of darkness, or a number of other things. Anyway, he isn't necessarily evil. All he believes in, he's fairly neutral, is that things come and go, time shifts, and things end. And his whole concept is that basically the night is a blanket, it's safety, it's warmth, it's a time to rest, and this is what his people that he created believe. Those are the Dusk Elves. Above the Dusk Moor is the Dawn Vale, where the Kingdom of Loon stands, which is basically the Dawn Elven people's homeland, who were created by the Dawn Mother, who are, you know, completely opposite in terms of their ideologies, essentially. The whole morning always comes, hope, brightness, and wanting to be there to lift people up in that sense. Basically more active, Dusk Elves more mellow, more chilled out. Where did you want it? Either send it to me or just put the name in chat, Griff. Like, I'm sure other people might also be interested in Tolkien's writing of The Lord of the Rings. I don't know if you are, but if you are, then please check it out. And if anyone does need any ideas in terms of what this is currently about, you can head over to the website, which is, I will put a link in chat now. Because I can find it so easy. Because I made it. This is the website for anyone who doesn't know. It's a thing. If you do want any ideas of places to look for this episode, you can go into the search function. There's gods, Artar and Edita, that's the Dawn Mother and Duskfather. There's a couple of quotes on there that might give you an insight into who they are as a people. The races, you have the elves as well. This is somewhere you can also have a look, just to get an idea of what we're talking about today. Oh, it's just called Tolkien? Okay, sick. But yes, this is some places you can look at. Awesome information today, if you do want to have a little bit to go into this with, before you put any ideas in, or just start throwing shit at me. Not literally. And we'll chat and see what fits. So far we have this temple here in this name isn't staying, we just haven't discussed a name yet, we haven't made a name yet, this is a placeholder name for this big ass mountain, where the Dusk Temple, or again, name TBD, sits, which has to go on like this dangerous pilgrimage through the mountains to get to, and it exists on a plateau where there's a lot of water, and down through a waterfall, which then drops into this lake here. From day one, I imagine the Dusk Moor to look like Victorian-era England. 1918 London, somewhat vampire. Okay. So understanding technology and the fact we don't have electricity. This is a high fantasy world D&D base, not EDRPG. But I like the vibe. Could definitely work with that vibe, actually. So that's like very, let's skip the mechanized shit. I have a lot of weird things on this playlist, but we're just not gonna question. Let's go to this one. That's a bit better. The vibe has to be right. Yeah. I guess follow-up questions would be, are we gonna have Bloodborne-esque too? Yeah, I get you. What are the naming conventions gonna be in this area? Are there gonna be naming conventions that are followed for towns? So for the Tepuwigs, we just had really literal names. They had Berry, Stumpwood, and Littleton, I think was another one. It's just like a little town. For the Jackarak, they were based on where they were, like where they fit in the environment. And then you had more ship-based names for the ex-pirates of the nation, the conglomerate of Camaria, where the pirate princes lie in the rain. What's that region called? The Steeps, basically. Amazing place. Anyway, cool. We did that like a while ago. So are we going to have a naming convention for the elves? Are the towns and the names going to be vastly different from English? Are they going to shift? Is it going to confuse people? Is it going to be hard to say? The Jackarak shit was all hard to say. What are we going for? English-based. Maybe going into Eastern European naming, ending with ich, tor, ich. Definitely could work with that, yeah. So do you want to go more Cyrillics then, or Romance language with this language? We do still have dwarves to cover. And humans. We haven't covered, really, humans or dwarves. And orcs. We need to cover orcs too. That's a different kingdom though, altogether. If I like low-key get the map up. So I believe we said Artar is going to be a guttural sounding orcish language. Mixture like old Prussian. Ooh, that could work, yeah. Scarus Peaks, that's what they're called. Yeah, so the Obsidian Fells we said were going to be like orcish guttural. Like Rivix is the lake here. I think we said we wanted humans to exist predominantly on the Cerulean coast in the Prain. Dusk Elves appear outwardly tough and aggressive while being very calm and chill. So a mix. Old Prussian vibes. Okay, I like that. Oh, Jesus, get rid of that underlined bullshit. Thank you. Sizes. And put a space in. Berry. Yeah, I'm doing great today. Language of the Dusk Elves. So I guess their dialect, right? Of Elvish. So the Dawn Elves will have their own, I'm sure, dialect of Elvish. How do you spell Cyrillic? No, not ceramics. How do you spell it? Was it called? It's called like Russian is a Cyrillic. Russian Cyrillic. It's a Cyrillic language. That's how you spell it. This is me being unable to spell. We apologize. Not sure exactly how they would sound, but lore behind the names could be a neat bit of lore, as in what the elven names meant in common. 100%. Oh, we could do some fun with that, Milk. 100%. I love that. So the names of the towns have like a translation into common that's in reference to something. Oh god, okay, we'll check those notes in a minute, Effect. We'll check those notes later. Oh, post-stream. So this is where we can have some fun actually making language, too. Because that's a thing. So we're saying that the dialect of Elvish that the Dusk Elves speak, which is going to distinguish them from the Dawn Elves in the north, right, is going to have some kind of Cyrillic undertones. Example, in a setting I'm making at the moment, there's one city, Jats, that has been found after an apocalyptic war. Final battle of this war was wars between two dragon armies, and the city was built on the site of the final battle. So the city name is the elven words for dragon corpse, because the city is built upon the corpse of dragons. I like that. So we could have some lore shit that goes into why cities are named that way. Okay, so we have the Solace Lake here, right? Let's talk about the capital first then, in terms of naming conventions. Alright. Right, so in terms of naming conventions, what do we want this? So I think if we have the Dusk Elven capital here, we can have the Dawn Elven capital literally on the other side of the lake, so they can see each other across the water. I think that's a really interesting juxtaposition. I'm not making fun of your bad spelling. I think that'd be a really interesting kind of physical representation of the reflections yet differences in the Dawn and Dusk Elven people. You know, you have the reflections, the fact that it's over water, as well as the fact that they're literally reflecting each other's capitals, yet so different. So what would that mean then, Effect? If we're going by this lore standard, that each name has basically a translation that means something, what would this mean in common tongue? And again, we could play with the fact that it's a reflection of the capital of the Dawn Vale on the other side. Is there something there that in the lore we say, this is it? Some reference to either the deity or their race, something they revere. Yeah, could definitely be that. I mean, it could be something like Knight's Stand. Translation is Knight's Stand, as in the nighttime, but also the war. Because there's conflicts that we said would constantly arise along the border of these two nations by their simple ideological differences. This being on the border itself, as well as being the reflection of the capital on the other side. Because we do love a play on words. Music is very calming, my god. I'm just gonna go with this. There already is kind of a deity of chaos that exists, actually. They are a chaotic, neutral deity. The god of sins and virtues. I can actually show you guys them. Go onto our website, we got gods. Flux. This is the god of sins and virtues, who is fun. Basically, they have no choice in what personality they present or who they are in any given moment, and it is very sad. Knight's Bastion. Oh, I like that.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. Jesus, thank you. Hope this is useful in some ways the project going forwards. As someone who's DM'd in the past, there was a trouble world building beyond small scales. This has been very informative. Looking forward to seeing where it goes. Here. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. And yes, it will go to good use. Probably getting some commission work done. So much art that needs being made for this. The kind of concepts that people have been coming up with for creatures and people. There's a lot that needs to be done still. So thank you. That helps a lot. And it also helps me pay for the website, which does cost me personal money every month. So thank you, I really do appreciate that. That's amazing. Okay, so we'll say Knight's Bastion. I like that as a... Maybe the large mountain from which the night begins, aka the sun sets, and call it... Oh, we got a name for the mountain? Hell yes. Just yes. Hold on. Wait. Not Mount Huge. This is the fill-in name. Okay. Large mountain from which the night begins and the sun sets. Oh, I love that as lore. Okay. And that's a... Oh, I like that you've mixed the languages really well then. You've really kind of taken a more romantic language and shifted it. Except I can't type to save my life. Because that sounds slightly guttural, but it still has like a romance feel to it. Like it still rolls quite easily off the tongue. That's good. I like that. Okay, so we're saying the mountains... we'll just put names. Names in their translations. Okay. If I can type, that'd be great. Man, you should stay. Maybe that's what the humans call it. The humans in the Kingdom of Prain across the river, across the channel, sorry, the Panther Channel. Maybe they call it Mount Huge. They're like, fuck your Noshni Bedum. Fuck your Noshni Bedum. It's Mount Huge now. Well, so we need to translate it into common into something. But is this... Ooh, okay. Is this, then, literally where the sunrise and sunsets happen? Is this world literally the goddess of dawn rises, and as she goes down to sleep, the god of dusk rises? Is there like a point where light literally emits from this mountain, and that where darkness starts to glow as well? Is there like an impure versus pure light? I do like the idea of some fisherman naming it that and calling it the mountain Mount Huge enough times that meme culture just took over and everyone outside a 20-mile radius calls it that. I love the idea. Literally, the Kingdom of Prain we said was going to be a predominantly human kingdom. That's in the Cerulean coast, just on the other side of the channel. So if we look at here, I'll just show you. So there's a channel that runs here, right? Vaguely. And this channel on the other side of it here is Prain. So actually I can show you again on this. So just here, so you have the Panther channel, and then you have Prain and the Wild Heart Concord, who we've discussed already, but yeah, here. They could have literally like had some fishermen like out and about around here in the channel, or some boats going past, and they were like, oh, look, that mountain is huge. What is it? Mount Huge. Okay. That's right, Dawn, Mother, and Dusk. of that. I really can't type today. Oh my god. Montha. Bunch of uneducated human hobos. Well, it could be that like there was just one fisherman out there and they got back and they were like, hey guys, did you see Mount Huge? And they're like, what the fuck? Where is that? Ends up with this whole like thing going around of like, oh guys, there's like this Mount Huge is out there. Fucking dumb. I love it. So what does Nochni Beda mean? What does it translate to in the common tongue? Does it literally mean the night's beginning? Or maybe the rise of night, something like that? I tend to be pretty chaotic when I DM. Yeah, I can tell. I love it. The God's Peak, yeah, maybe. Knight's Bastion Rise. We've already used Bastion in this one, like, in terms of the actual city capital. I kind of like the idea of it being like a god translation. What about the Rise of Gods? What about something more literal, like Rise of Gods? Ooh, something solstice? Yes, that could work very well. I do like the word solstice, but we will have to use it in a correct context, so let's have a look. Because I'm me, let's have a look at the, night something. Yeah, Nochni definitely sounds kind of night-esque. So in the sense that we use the term solstice to reference an event that happens twice a year, right? Longest, shortest days. Do they use it to reference 2 events in each day? Maybe? That they're like the solstice of each day is the sun's rising and setting. I feel like nights is in owned. Works for that. No. Fuck off. Be pretty cool. Yeah, like if they're like in reference to the solstice is each day. There is 2 solstices, when the sun rises and when the sun sets. So when the dawn begins and the dusk falls. So we can definitely play with that. Actually, I'll put that up here. We can definitely play with that in terms of language use and how they view the world. We could make it night solstice. I feel like the mountain has to be revered by both races, right? If we say that it's where the Dawn Mother and Dusk Father rise and fall each day, literally where they rest. Or at least their earthly projection rests. But maybe they each have a different name for the mountain then. That these Dusk Elves call it Nochni Bedam, meaning the night's rise. Or the night's fall actually would make more sense, given that darkness is always considered falling, dawn is always considered rising. So if we call it the night's fall, and then maybe the Dusk Elves call it a different name. Even though I don't personally ascribe to it, I've always found the use of solstices by pagan religions to be intriguing. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting concept. All of that stuff, I think, is very interesting. Also, I think I finally fixed chat. I think this is the problem. We'll find out if I did. Yeah, no, I think this needs to fuck off. Like, scream. No, I think solstices are super interesting. And the fact that the elves maybe consider it an event that passes every day as the Dawn Mother rises and the Dusk Father falls. This also actually could make a really good point of contention, where we have, like I said, there are tensions and fights and conflicts breaking out along the border between the Olivoan Empire and the Kingdom of Lune. It could be that this is the main point of contention, that the Dawn Elves want the mountain, but it's currently in the territory of the Dusk Elves. Am I correct in understanding that Dusk and Dawn Elves, as it were, have different senses of foreboding or joy associated with different times of the day and night cycle? Yeah, so it's not necessarily foreboding as such. It's gonna shit that over a little bit, but I have fixed it. Woo! Broken solstices like a broken clock that's right twice a day. Yeah. So, yeah, kind of, in the sense that the Dusk Elves don't necessarily fear the light. They don't. They know it's a natural part of life, and that life needs light to survive, the same way that life needs rest to survive. They just believe that the Dusk Father giving everything that time to rest, that safety and that blanket to rest in the night, is the true thing to worship, essentially. Whereas the Dusk Elves are more kind of like, you know, the dawn, the light, the life that comes with that, that's what we should worship. Perhaps once a year, both races would be forbidden to engage in conflict due to some relation to the mountain and celebration. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so if we say... So the mountain, this, Nochni Bedum, is a point of contention, yeah? And reason for a lot of conflict. So whatever this celebration is, will have to be something that both can agree on. Where dawn and dusk come together. So what could we potentially do for that? So we're saying that every year... Is it a day? Is it a week? What is the celebration? Is it just... Well, so we put a insert time here. Is it around a specific time of year? Where light and dark meet. Yeah, exactly. It has to be. Ooh, during eclipses. I like that. Oh man, that's amazing. Okay, that's a brilliant idea. Eclipses being night and dark meeting, in a sense, because it blocks the light. But there's still light. It's a weird combination. Oh, that's so clever. Okay, so during eclipses, a celebration is called, yeah? There's another civilization that has the mention of the eclipse, right? Themes, yes, we love themes. Have we made another civilization with mention of the eclipse yet? I don't think we have. We could definitely make more. So do eclipses in this world take longer to pass? Is it like a full day when an eclipse comes? How does the moon cut its hair? Eclipse it. Oh, I hate that. That's great. We do love our themes, though. Themes are great. That is a particularly brilliant idea, though. The idea that the eclipse is literally when dark and light meet, because it is. Ooh, okay. Yes effect. Love that. We'll discuss what the blood being strengthened means in a bit. Keep getting reminders of how nations in Avatar get power from natural phenomenons. Cool concept if each race gets a buff depending on which type of eclipse it is. Yeah, I love it. I love the idea that like solar eclipses and lunar eclipses. So the lunar eclipse is obviously the Dusk Elves have their time. Or is it actually the other way around? Because a solar eclipse is when the moon goes in front of the sun, right? But like during the No, I guess that does make sense. Lunar eclipses are Dusk Elves, and then solar eclipses will do Dawn Elves. So we have written about the Dawn and Dusk Elves as a playable race. That Dawn Elves have radiant blood, and so they have natural resistances to radiant damage, and their spells are based around light. Is it the opposite? And then Dusk Elves, they have necrotic blood, so they have natural resistances to necrotic damage. Could also be that specific members of the two races' lineages are affected if they're born during one of those eclipses. Weird anomalies from the two main races. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Okay, we're gonna just not do that. Tap that in. Can't spell. Lore-wise, that can mean that the individual will be groomed for priesthood. Yes, I love that. Okay, love. Yes. Just slowly making more and more indents to this. Rude and priest in the same sentence. Not what it means. Okay, I love that. That's good. So what are each of these called? What is a lunar eclipse called by the elves? And what is a solar eclipse called by the elves? I could put a note in there and do that. Cool. So eclipses affect the different races' power. What happens during a blood moon? Ooh, jeez. Never press the tab key enough times. You need more detail. Yeah, I'm just slowly sectioning it out. I think that during a blood moon, it's seen as somewhat apocalyptic for both races. Night of the Moonlight Crossing. Ooh, I like that for... Which one's which? That'd be a lunar eclipse, right? We're gonna have to Google this. Hold on. Let's go. Lunar eclipse, Earth's shadow obscures the moon. During a solar eclipse, the moon blocks the sun from view. Yeah, okay. So would it then be the other way around? A red moon rises. Blood has been spilled on this night. Love that. So if the lunar eclipse is when the moon gets shadowed by the earth, right? Stick with me here. We're learning things today. If you love it, you're learning. Bad moon rising being played in the background. Jesus Christ. Night of the Moonlight Crossing is definitely going to be this one. And then what are we going to call a solar eclipse? Solar eclipse is bad for dawn elves. Yeah, so this is going to be the other way around. So because a lunar eclipse is when the moon blocks out the sun. So that's when the dawn elves become stronger, right? Is it? I'm wrong again. Am I? Yes, no, I am wrong. I had it right the first time. Oh my god, learning things is hard. Science is difficult. Okay. Yes, I had it right the first time. Lunar eclipse. Sun gets blocked by moon. Right? Incorrect. Other way around. Fuck me. Lunar eclipse. Bad for Dusk Elves. Because the sun's blocking the... Oh my god. Okay, so if a lunar eclipse is when... this is... Science was never my strong suit. I didn't do it for a reason. So when the moon blocks out the sun, surely that's when the Dusk Elves become more powerful, because the light is being covered by dark, right? So that's dusk. Yeah, so I was right the first. Okay, and then lunar eclipse is then, which is when the sun can no longer find the moon, because the earth blocks it, right? If it's an eclipse, it's bad for what that race is named after. Okay, we're just gonna keep it this way around. I can't brain. So the Moonlight Crossing would actually be a solar eclipse. Because the moon crosses the sun, right? Also, you are very late. Bana. Weekend. Okay, we'll do weekend then. Weekend. And vice versa. Okay, right. There we go. Now it's accurate. Good God, who knew science could confuse me this much with words? There we go. So it's a lunar eclipse, which means it's bad for the Dusk Elves. Because, right. Yeah, no, I fixed it. Don't worry about it. And then solar eclipse is bad for the Dawn Elves. So Dawn Elves' blood is weakened and vice versa. So the Dusk Elves strengthened. And so moonlight crossing references the moon crossing the sun, right? So that would be a solar eclipse. Jesus Christ. English was not my thing. I did not learn English. I am English bad speak as an English person. Okay. Fuck my life. So if that's the night of the moonlight crossing, a solar eclipse, then what is a lunar eclipse? Okay, during a blood moon, that's a whole other thing. Night of the Fading Fire. I like that. I thought it was maths that was you were bad at. I'm actually not terrible at maths. You know what? Maths is not that bad. Day of the Fading Fire. Well, the lunar eclipse happens at night. So it'd be... So this is actually day of the moonlight crossing. And then night of the Fading Fire. Is that what we're gonna go with? Actually, I kind of think that should be the Fading Fire is, again, reference to... Actually, prefer that to Moonlight Crossing, though. Fading Fire is, like, Day of the Fading Fire. Sounds like Fading Sun, like you can't see the sun anymore. Is that what we want to do? Night of the Fading Fire and... But fire to me is like light, right? Fading fire would be good for the Dusk Elves. Fading fire would be bad for the Dawn Elves. Yeah. So day of the Fading Fire would be the solar eclipse. This is when, you know, the moon blocks the sun. Correct? Correct. We're checking stuff to make sure. Yeah, we're just getting confused here. And then we have the night of the moonlight passing, maybe? What if we did that? Night of the moonlight passing and day of the fading fire. As the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. Night of the shadowed moon is so much better. Oh, Jesus. That was good. I appreciate that. I respect that. Mysterious is the dark side of the moon. Okay, so during these eclipses, despite the races being oppositely affected, they call a ceasefire and celebrations are had. Or is the ceasefire during the blood moon? Because they think the world's going to shit. Be Batman. Because, I mean, if the eclipses caused one side to become weaker and one side to be stronger. Surely they'd use that as an offensive push, right? As like a military strength. Unless they realized how much damage was being done and how many people were being killed on these nights, and so called a ceasefire to stop massacres. And yeah, we'll say that these are both as often as each other. We'll say that there's a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse every year. That works. 2 days a year that they bring ceasefire. Don't read my mind as I type. I'm sorry, Brana. But yeah, no, I think maybe having it as like... lunar eclipses happen 4 to 7 times a year. Yeah, I feel like for the sake of like being nice to the races, maybe that means solar eclipses have to happen just as often. Whatever it is, they need to happen as often as each other to be equal. Why don't we say 4 for both? 4 times a year there's a lunar eclipse, and 4 times a year there's a solar eclipse. You can fudge it, it doesn't have to be real, this is fantasy. Well, the whole idea, Bana, is that these races are the perfect depiction of duality. The two sides of the same coin, yet both sides are so vastly different. Chaos is the fucking last kingdom we made, my god. Oh, sorry, 2 kingdoms ago. Kamari is fucked. Also, the idea of like the Dawn Mother and Dusk Father also being at odds yet together. Two nations in a state of perpetual war, or is it just high tensions with random border skirmishes? I feel like high tensions with random border skirmishes makes more sense. I think if we're saying that, so okay, Bana, quick recap. The Dawn Father and the Dusk Mother, the Dawn Mother and the Dusk Father, get that the right way around, are 2 gods, okay? They're twins, Artar and Adita. And they, one being obviously the goddess of dawn and the other being the god of dusk. One rises as the other falls, that's how it works. Basically, the Dawn Mother started wanting her own people to worship her, and also just people to love. And she started creating the Dawn Elves. In a kind of more of a jealous state, the Dusk Father then realized what the Dawn Mother was creating and wanted his own. Couldn't have his sister having, you know, these people who worshipped her and he not have the same. So created a reflection of that which his sister was making in the form of the Dusk Elves. So they're kind of like sibling-like tensions between those gods. They recognize that one cannot exist without the other, but at the same time, they do get jealous of each other's progression and worth, etc. Had break interrupted, you can rewind. But yeah, basically that's the idea of the Dawn Father and the the Dawn Mother and the Dusk Father, who in that sense are like, you know, bickering siblings who created races that are now ideologically opposed. I'm such a Vaz, you guys should do the same. Oh, also thank you so much for the subscribe as well, Exiled Ranger, I really appreciate it. You could get really screwy with it and say that the belief of followers and subsequent power of the twins changes the number of eclipses that happen. Oh my god, that could be... Oh my god. If we say that the belief of the followers and subsequent power of the twins changes the number of eclipses, that would be so interesting. And that definitely prompts the violence between the two, in that the power of the the worship of the gods changes their power. This is very Norse-esque in mythology. But that could definitely be fun. That would mean that one side will annihilate the other given time, mathematically speaking. Yes and no, because they're also kept in like a constant state of being the same. I mean, eventually, yeah, they would technically wipe the other out, but that's where other nations come into it. Is it perhaps that each side has allies in other places, this constant tension being almost like a Cold War? But also, we need to remember humanity's a part of this too, right? The cycle may not be a thing. Like, they don't necessarily hate each other. They just have vastly opposing philosophies, right? It could be that they... I think this is the idea, right? So we're saying that during lunar and solar eclipses, celebrations are called, and the conflict is put on hold for the duration. And we're saying that that happened because of horrific massacres that occurred in the past on these days between the two nations. Is it then the humanity of these people that have been made by the gods to worship, but developed their own culture, their own beliefs? Is that what's stopping them? Yeah, like the average person over centuries and centuries and centuries of being here has caused them to have some humanity. And yeah, maybe that's a good idea, Bana. That non-pure bloods aren't chained to the cycle. In that sense, then, if we're saying that always clashing siblings, minor conflicts, but never truly divided, because without one another they cannot function, yeah, they are literally reflections of the gods on Earth, but they've developed their own humanity too. I think that could be an interesting facet of it. Like, is it maybe that they recognize that they can't live without the other? I think the eclipse celebrations are actually what's keeping things in check. You reaching out to the other nation in their moment of weakness when you could take advantage of it. Now an inciting incident could throw it all off. Oh, that would be a great campaign setting. The deities are more like squabbling siblings, Ray. So we're talking like one... They're like one... The Dusk Elves were made up slightly after the Dawn Elves, but only because the Dawn Elves were started to be made, and then the Dusk Father was like, wait, I want my own people too. I'm gonna steal your idea and make it mine. But also an interesting thing that you could do is if the eclipses happen more frequently depending on the power of each god, based on their worshippers, do you then also have the day and night change time, change length? That maybe all the days are the same length in this world, but you know something's gone wrong when the day is shorter or the night is longer, or or the day is longer, etc. And that in such times, maybe other people unite to try and keep the balance.
Oh my god!
Because that could be really fun. And incite so many wars. That's not the point. Oh god, this is something like I have to type like a whole other paragraph for this. Okay, let's just go back to... What are we building? We are building an entire world from scratch. Also, thanks for the follow, appreciate. We're building an entire world from scratch. Here's the world map that it is. This has got some changes to it. We've now built Scarus Peaks down here in the Camarian conglomerate, which is an ex-pirate nation, and we've built a world, yes. And we've also built the Wild Heart Concordat, which is a group of druids. That's been really fun to build. They hate magic. The Great Divide was a scar caused by the gods scarring the world to try and tame nature, because the world itself is a slumbering deity. And now we're on the Elovan Empire, which is the Dusk Moor, which is a collision of was the nation of the Dusk Elves, which we're getting to. Griff, yes. Hold on. Kinda sounds like the scouting method of shaking hands with the left. Okay, cool. Trust. Okay, I see what you mean. If you mess with the day-night cycle, the two deities would have a lot of power over the other races too. So, the elves are the ones able to affect their powers. Only the elves, I think. So the idea is like the elves worship their deity and keep balance. We totally aren't using viewers as workarounds. But you say that. Do you understand how much I have to write after each of these episodes? For each 2-hour episode, I have to write about 10 hours of work to make all of this a digestible format for the website. It's a lot. Changing number of clips acts as great impetus and a story hook for changing in the world. Lots of interests at many different corners of the planet have a vested interest in the outcome of battles. Yeah, so they kind of keep each other balanced based on external influence, not just their own internal humanity. So what if another race were to worship these gods? I don't think it would affect it. I think the idea is that, like, the elves were created as these vessels of power, of worshipping power for each of the gods, right? And so they themselves are what affects it. Okay. What if Kanto was to be converted to one of these gods? Mate, there's so many things that can go wrong in this world already. I love what we've done with the pirate kingdom, ex-pirate conglomerate, the Camarian conglomerate has been really fun. With their whole link to sin, and that's a whole balance in of itself as well. A very delicate balance. Elves are kind of like batteries. Yeah, so the elves are like a function created by their godparents to essentially give them more power. I'm going to say, like, how can I explain this in simple terms? If the number of Dawn Elven worshippers increases, the Dawn Mother's power increases. Okay. And vice versa. Right, that's the only way I can think of typing that. Ooh, can't type. Okay. Literally just the Matrix, yeah. Teppies are the best boys. Teppies were fun to make. Teppy wigs were amazing. It's a great race to build. And also, my god, I feel bad for them. Elves are parasites that feed parasites, you would have thought. Would explain the ears. Oh my god. I like little antennae. No, okay. I like this though. This is a concept. So basically is a point note for other races. So inclines. Ooh, that's the wrong spelling. Purity of the faith could play a factor instead of a number. Yeah, I like that idea. Allowing for more outlaying cultist cells to get more extreme in their attempts to upset the balance in their favor. Ooh, I like that. Okay. So the more pure the faith. But pure being like a term down for expression. Let's not get on like Germany on this. Yeah, why children born during the solstice have little extra. Yeah, well, born during, sorry, the eclipses has extra power in their groups. Okay, I like that. longer. Take the dusk pill in the story as you wake up in your bed, whatever you want to believe. You take the dawn pill, you stay in Colabria, and see how far this rabbit hole goes. Yeah, I mean, oh god, I will say, Twitchy, the number of things, like, we made a bestiary for essentially what is a primal forest, which is part of the Scarus Peaks region, where the kingdom of, the Kamarian conglomerate lies, and the bestiary of that is terrifying. Oh my god, there are some scary fucking beasts that I've been writing stat blocks for. They are fucked up. It is a rabbit hole that is weird as hell. Miracles play a big part in this, I think. Yes. Okay, that's the best way I can think of typing that. Okay. This is gonna be so much to fucking type up, but I love this. This is amazing. So if we're calling them the Night of the Shadowed Moon and the Day of the Fading Fire, at some point I've got to play a character in this world. So basically, is it going to be D&D having? So what we're doing initially is I'm writing the stat blocks as if this were D&D. Further down the line, we're actually thinking of making our own roll system for it. But that's fine. So basically, okay, so anyway, yeah, I will be writing one-shot campaigns that I will be running, so keep in mind for that. Just so you are aware, Exiled Ranger. Keep an eye out because I will be running those eventually and putting them up for access for people if they want to play in them as well, etc. But Twitchy, the Dawn and Dusk Elves are not... They have fundamentally opposing ideologies. One obviously being made by the Dusk Father, one being made by the Dawn Mother. That does lead to tensions between the two races, although even the Dawn Mother and Dusk Father don't want each other to fade, because they recognize they're twins. They do have a level of care for each other as siblings. So there's this level of like tension and occasional skirmishing, and yes, cultists on both sides who take things too far and try and upset the balance between them. But I feel like it's this kind of unsteady, real unsteady piece that kind of occasionally flares up in bouts, and then as the world starts going to shit, other people come involved and try and, you know, stop the world changing dramatically, and that's what causes big wars between the world, which also gives a lot of space for it. So like you have like long periods of peace, and like the rest of the time it's just little skirmishes, and then you just have like possibly world-ending wars that people have to fight, which can make an amazing D&D setting, just saying, which is kind of the point. There's a lot of risk here. Is this where you end up with a Romeo and Juliet-esque love story and a couple that want to be but cannot be? Oh no 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 no. We don't need more Romeo and Juliet, my god. Yeah, I feel like there's that kind of uneasy... They respect each other and know that the other needs to exist for them to, because their gods are fundamentally linked. But there's still that vastly opposing ideology, and cultists and more pure, quote-unquote, people definitely take it too far and try and upset that balance as much as they can. And that's what causes this constant cycle of violence. When she had Beauty and the Beast. Oh my god. If a Dawn Elf and a Dusk Elf procreate, would the result be an abomination? Ooh, I like that. That could be interesting. Ooh, I'm not sure. What would that create? I feel like the kid would mostly just not survive. Yeah, probably. So that's starting point on that. Probably the same for half-elves. Humans don't trust them due to thinking they're siding with elves and vice versa. Yeah, there's like this tension, constant tension of is the world gonna end because these two can't get on. Disney does Stockholm Syndrome as Beauty and the Beast. Accurate. Super rare, occasional that actually does survive. Could either be the Christ or the Antichrist, depending. Oh, okay. Yeah, does an eclipse happen? But in that case, is that maybe that's what a blood moon is, or whatever? You know, when the sky's red, whatever. When the sky goes red, either in a blood moon or a blood sun or whatever, marks the birth of a successful birth of a hybrid elf. That would be... oh, that's actually brutal. Do they get like a similar to alopecia? If you go, is it alopecia? Or is that the skin one or is that the hair one? I can't spell. No, that's loss of hair. That's the one where you have like skin blotches, markings thing. Does anyone know what that's called? When you get like whiter patches on your skin? Because it could be like that, where it's like a mix of two colors, literally patches of both on their skin. And they'd never be accepted, and that makes me sad, but also that's fair. So say blood moon or red sun rises. No, not eczema. There's like a condition. There we go. Skin with white patches. What's it called? There it is. Vitiligo is so it's a condition where they have like pale just patches develop on the skin, and sometimes it can take over someone's whole body. Oh, like chronic pain syndrome? Oh, that's... ouch. Frank's Out Ranger. Jesus. Rosacea? Is that the other thing? I was thinking of this one. This is one I was definitely thinking of. It's not spelled ostracized, is it? No. Oh, it is. It's just they Americanized it. Okay, no, it's an S. Not trying to be harsh, just trying to figure out why it would really be an anomaly. Yeah, no. Fully. No. It's, I get you. It's 100% okay. Rosacea is a thing, though. That's the redness, right? Rosacea? Or skin redness? plant type. Good night, Bana. We'll be ending soon anyway, I think. Let's go around a little more with the abomination thing. It could also mean nothing per se in regards to the gods, in that they have no real affection on the scales of power, rather just considered blasphemous and poorly understood. Yikes. Yeah, I like that. This is actually brutal. These poor guys, man. This is what I meant about the half-elves. They're really good at being the best go-between guys because they're the best of both worlds. But elves don't trust them due to their human side, and humans don't trust them due to the elf side. Other races are really cool about them, though. Yeah, I think it's a very similar thing. Like, these guys, both the Dawn Elves and the Dusk Elves, don't trust them, they don't understand them, they see them as no value. But if they go out into the world, maybe they're good in different ways to other things. But yeah, half-elves definitely, they make you think other races are in. So half-elves is the wrong thing. We need to come up with a name for these mixed elves, I guess. I don't know what we're going to call them. What are we going to call them? Yeah, neither side trusts them. Definitely Twitchy. I don't think either side ever would. I mean, it's not incest, but it is. It is and it isn't. Maybe another deity scoops them up, some god/goddess of outcasts. Maybe one of them with an inclination towards revenge. Can have a species-spanning questline where the people decide whether they want to coexist with the two races, or destroy them for casting them out. Ooh, kind of like a fallen Aesir kind of deal. We could call them fallen elves, actually. They could see them as, like, being failures, in that sense. A god or goddess from outside the Dawn or Dusk area? Yeah. We haven't made too many gods. How many gods have we actually made? We haven't made that many. Let's go on here. Yeah, we only have Sesame, which is the world itself, / Tarek. They have two different names because they're called different things by different groups. Lightless ones. Oh, ouch. Fallen elves, lightless ones. Maybe they have multiple ways. No sun, no moon. Yeah, that's lightless. Fucking hell. Then we have Flux, who's the god of sins and virtues, who is, I feel so bad for. Artar and Adita being the Dawn and Dusk. Maybe they get to decide themselves. Due to their mixed heritage, they don't have ties to either, so they can choose. But that implies they want to choose either side if neither side likes them. Or we could do the classic. This civilization, these elves are millennia old, right? Has one of them, in a way, ascended to a level of deity? Through some kind of magic? Ooh, foolish elves, yeah. Yeah, maybe did a fallen elf or a lightless one somehow ascend to a level of godhood using magic from both? Lower lifespan? Yes, that's very, yeah. So if you say that elves live centuries, are they more akin to like humans? So like 200 years at most? Maybe they've been hidden for a long time. Every time one of them is born in either kingdom, they're cast out into the mountain range between them. And someone has been gathering them in secret for an unknown purpose. Yes, and that would be an amazing plot hook for a campaign if you wanted to write a campaign in this region. Okay, I'm gonna separate this out. Which is bittersweet. Humans may be one of the few that truly accepts them, and that they have a gift of being able to grow old with them, while elves are cursed to see their loved ones die if they're humans. That is bittersweet. We don't, we're technically chaotic neutral. Flux is chaotic neutral. Yeah, is there just a neutral deity that's just like, this kind of sucks, bro. Like, why would a deity take pity on the fallen elves, on these lightless ones? Or is it a neutral good god who just takes pity on them? So the twins existed first. The twins created the elves. The Dawn Mother started creating the Dawn Elves, and the Dusk Father, in his jealousy, took her idea, took one of her creations, and turned it into his own. It could be that the twins have a younger sibling they don't know about. We haven't discussed how these gods became what they are, either. Chaotic neutral, they would have been shunned by their society, so need to look for themselves. Doesn't mean they're evil or good. Just need to look out for number one. Yeah. But are we saying the god, whatever entity, whatever person is gathering the nation, these outcasts, the lightless ones in the mountains, why? Why are they doing it? What are they? Are they good? Are they evil? But thinking, yeah, who would want to exploit them? Yes, I'm 100% going to be adding fallen elves as a playable race. Yeah. I'll need to do that over the next couple of days. I'll think of a stat block for them and I'll make it work. Lawful evil is never done well enough. I've only ever seen it done right once, and that was a friend who played a paladin that was essentially the tax man. Oh boy, I respect your friend so much. These gods having blood relatives could mean an ascended race that reach a higher conscience and acquired powers and magic the original beings practiced. Could explain necrotic, divine, chaos, sin, etc., and why they revolted against the very true god, says me. Yeah, the world itself is a slumbering behemoth of a god. I like the idea of a younger sibling of a god. Being lawful evil, building up worshippers from the rejects slowly over time in a calculating way. Maybe they feel rejected by their twin god sibling who they don't know that they exist. And feel sympathy in that sense with these half-breeds, with these fallen elves. I like that idea too, Exiled Ranger. Okay, right, let's go with that then. Good night. Have a good night. We're gonna end soon, genuinely. I keep saying that, but like, yeah. I mean, that's the point. Yeah. Lawful evil is very hard to do, so I'd say this isn't necessarily lawful evil. Like, they're angry because they feel ignored, and, you know, they hate how oblivious and uncaring Artar and Adita, the god of dawn and dusk, the god of dusk and the goddess of dawn, have been towards them. And so they now, as a minor deity themselves, maybe not with the same power, because obviously they've created these elves as batteries, essentially. Maybe they, as a minor deity, are gathering them, wanting revenge, but also in a sense of pity. Like they can relate almost to these outcasts. Sounds pretty CNN to me. Yeah, I mean, hey, they get their ideas from somewhere. Also, I don't think I've ever seen anything on CNN. I'm not gonna lie. Never seen Game of Thrones either. No one fight me on that. Okay, what's the name of this younger sibling? We have Artar and Adita, which is the god of dusk and the goddess of dawn. And what is... Okay, so we're gonna say chaotic... I'd say chaotic good. No, I know what you're saying. I'd say chaotic good. Because they, like, hate themselves and hate everyone. But they don't... Well, they hate their siblings and what their siblings have accomplished and created. But they pity Artemis. Yes. Oh, love that. I'm gonna say the chaotic good god. And they're named Artemis. I like that as a name, Artemis. So we have Artar, Adita, and Artemis. And they basically, this guy is now collecting... What is he? What's he a minor deity of? Is he the deity of outcasts? Lost souls. Oh, I like that. God, we're hunting. We're not getting Artemis, no. That way you can take on those who were never born, those who were thrown away or killed. Yeah, I like Lost Souls as an idea. 100%. Minor deities tend to have smaller domains. Which is, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say secrets, but Lost Souls, certainly. Poaching of people, fuck's sake. Griff. Your jokes are on point as always. I am a forever DM as well. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. The first one-shot that I write, I'm actually writing a one-shot at the moment for the Teppy Wigs, who we made in episode 2 way back when. And it's about a group of Teppy Wigs ascending the mountain to Goreg, the troll city of Goreg, believing that they are going to be one with the gods, and it's going to be called Escape from Goreg. Basically, there's a whole storyline behind that. But I'm writing a one-shot on it right now, and you guys are invited. Forever DMs, I feel for you. We'll get a game going. We'll do this one-shot at some point. Play test it, see if it works. I'll probably stream it though. And if you want to join that, let's make it happen. I'm a forever DM as well, but I don't mind running something in a world I've created. I'm definitely gonna have to play test all the stuff that I'm doing. I'm already play testing a few things with some of my friends in real life, like face to face over the table. So yeah, it'll be a good way to play test it, and for you guys to actually get to play a character for once. But okay, I feel like now's probably a good time to call this episode here, because we've been going for over 2 hours now. That's not including the 10-minute one I did initially. And I feel like we've gotten a lot done today. We know so much more about the elves than we did coming into this, and their nations and how they operate. We'll go more into the actual maps next time, and actually get the names of some places down and some more context that way. Promise myself no socials. Fair enough. While it probably will be a while before I manage to actually finish writing it, it's nearly December already. So in the new year sometime, if you did want to join us, and you're welcome to, we do have a Discord. It's linked to this Twitch, so as and when, your choice. No rush. Anyway, so yeah, I think we'll call it here today, guys. Next episode, we'll finish building the actual specifics of the Olivoan physical aspects of the Olivoan Empire. We'll discuss more about what all of this means for the Empire. And then potentially, I think maybe episode 10 will get started on the Dawn Elves in the Kingdom of Loon and the Dawn Vale. So yes. Thank you for joining XL Ranger. And again, check out the website if you haven't checked it out. I will send a link now from here. It's just Colabria, let's build worlds together.com. We're slowly adding all the information. I'm no longer writing this alone. I was before. So that's a thing. We do have little voice notes on some of them. I've voiced some stuff, and Exiled Ranger here in chat has also voiced some stuff, which has been really fun. You can actually click these. It will legitimately read out the quotes for you. Holy shit! Thank you so much, Exiled Ranger. That's amazing. Genuinely, thank you so much. Damn. Speechless. Okay. Yeah, check out the website. Sorry, that's a thing. You can check all of this stuff. You can see what information we have about locations, regions that we're doing stuff in, lore and traditions that we're starting to write. I'm going to be adding to this page soon. The races themselves, monsters that we are creating, which a lot of them are terrifying, the gods that we've built, and people in the world who we have so far been working on. What a Chad, yeah, right? XL Ranger, you're great, we're amazing. And thank you for working with us on this project as well. I know you've voiced some stuff already for us, and that's been awesome. Yeah. Come back next week, 8 p.m. British time. We'll be starting the next episode of Colabria. Don't miss it. Do check out any stuff on our Twitter announcements, or, like I said, for you, Twitchy, just come back 8 p.m. if you want to. You know we're doing it. Check it out. Yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Good night.